Okay, so you can hear it's still raining off and on, or it's just water coming off the trees. It did rain quite a bit last night. On the plus side, to clean my pot, all I had to do was stick it, outside the tent, and it filled up with water. So, plus sides. The good news is Henry, whatever status it's in right now, appears to have stalled further down south, so those folks are getting nailed, but up here, the forecast has actually improved. I've got crappy wind, crappy rain today, and then tomorrow there's some weird thing called sunshine, which may reappear. I don't know. Interestingly enough, most of the northbounders that I've talked to out here seem to be kind of like fed up and ready to be done. The combination of having done almost 2,000 miles and just the constant wet and rain and crap. The exception seems to be the slack packers, which interestingly enough, even in these more remote areas, there's still people who are managing to slack pack. So I guess a lot of them are just getting to stay inside. So that makes it a little easier because you're not having to, pack up and throw up a tent in the rain. I have had a couple of conversations where people were really doubting their life choices and going, why didn't I do the PCT? I've heard that's so much nicer. I try not to push that too much. I am still enjoying the more wildernessy feel of Maine, even if most of the hiking is just a pain. I mean, it's these rocks that you got to watch not to slip on when they're wet, roots all over the place, which are even worse of a slipping hazard, and yeah. Interestingly enough, it looks like I've got the Crocker Range and the Bigelows Range up ahead, and then it's going to level out, at least according to the elevation profile. Now, the problem is, something that barely blips the elevation profile can actually be pretty nasty to get up or down, so we'll see, day by day. The feeling of a wet tank top, underwear, and socks in the morning. So the plus side of having reception is I was able to get a couple of things done. The downside of having reception is then I get news from back home with the wilderness class and everything. It seems like everything's bad news and complication. I actually had full bars here. I assume it's because I'm on the shoulder of Sugarloaf, and there are resorts around here, so they probably have towers for all the ATV and snowmobile people. Also, unfortunately, there seems to be more people in the area, and there's this rash of people blaring speakers as they're hiking. And these aren't day hikers. A lot of these are through hikers I've seen before. I don't know if people's headphones are just wearing out or what. Oh my God, there's actually some sunshine out here. Okay, this is indeed more what I'm talking about. Views. And I can't see any towns for the moment. Whee! And to think, somebody told me down south, Maine didn't believe in footbridges. So this is the summit of South Crocker. I do some of these side trails to hit the peak just because I'm a peak bagger and it gives me something to enter on, peakbagger.com, but I sure as hell ain't doing it for the views. Okay, North Crocker, and it's raining just a little bit, but that's not what has me upset. What has me upset is there's somebody out here with the trail name of Multipass, and they were saying, not everybody has seen the movie Fifth Element. That is one of the best movies of all time, along with the original Ghostbusters and Army of Darkness. Really got to show taters that last one. Okay, cool thing. So, way back, somebody commented on my videos saying that they were going to do the ECT southbound from Katahdin. And I just ran into him. His name's Blacklight. So he just started at Katahdin. He's 200 some miles in, and he's intending to be hiking down to Florida in March, he said, and then continue on to maybe do the AZT afterwards. So that was cool. Also, it was nice to commiserate with another West Coast hiker that's, used to the heat, used to the climbing, but not used to the humidity. Also, I just passed 2,000 mile signs, so can't figure out how to get gut hooks open because my screen's not really responding that well due to the wet, but woohoo, 2,000-ish. I'm actually just shy of 4,000, I think, if I add the numbers up. And here we go again. You gotta love that the comments from gut hooks is all about the hostel. Hostel this, hostel that, etc., etc. And I had to go down several pages to find the comment that, oh yeah, that privy that gut hook says is here totally isn't. Important details, people. Okay, so it's currently after 6. I'm basically just trying to make a pond in a little under 2 miles. Fill up my water. There is a campsite. We'll see. I may stay there if it's not too busy. And then tomorrow I'll be over the Bigelows and into the flatlands. Flatter lands, I guess. So supposedly the rain's ending right about now, but it's so hard to tell. In the fog like this, it just builds up on the leaves and drips on you all day. Okay, I'm currently at Horns Pond. I found a spot in the back that there was somebody up front close to the privies, so I figure this will be fairly private. As you can see, it is raining, it is foggy, it is wet. Same as always. But hey, I'm basically in the Bigelow range, which is the last big range before Katahdin. A long, flattish section from what it looks on the map. Home sweet home for the night. Listen, do you hear that? It's not raining. There's not water dripping on the tent. It might actually be quasi-dry today. So yeah, for the last couple of days, it's been so wet. Even when it's not actively raining, basically all the moisture collects on the leaves, then you walk by and it just runs down your side. I haven't even thought about putting the shorts back on. My hands were all pruny. My feet have been pruny just because everything's wet. Not much deep mud at least, so at least I'm not getting Vermonted on. I made it to Horns Pond last night and just set up, in the wind and the rain. I saw one other person on the way in, and I think there's a caretaker cabin here, but I'm basically off in a corner by myself. I was able to get water from the pond last night, which was kind of spooky and cool with all the fog coming by. Today should get me across the Bigelows and then down into lower country. I also passed the 2,000 mile mark, so less than 200 miles to Katahdin. In other news, I seem to have once again managed to miss Nimblewell Nomad. Sonny was working north along the AT, and I was hoping to catch him and get a picture with him because he's the one that came up with the ECT route. And then he jumped off for trail days and I didn't, so I missed him there. And then I saw he had jumped up, done Katahdin with Nathan from the POC, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll catch him when he comes south. But apparently he jumped again, and he was at a hostel at ME Route 27 back there. And I didn't go in because, I'm not resupplying for a while, and I just have the worst luck trying to meet people on trail. Well, this is a significant improvement to the last couple of days. Well, that doesn't totally suck. Okay, now that's a peak. Bigelow and Avery. This does not suck. Here's the views I've been missing for the last week. So here's Avery Peak, ruins, and a monument. And there's my life for the next while. Got about 30 miles until my next resupply, which is at a river crossing where I get to canoe across. So the guys back there were guessing that Katahdin was that. I show it just a little more in this direction, but there's stuff right on the skyline. I guess we'll see as I get closer. So this is one of those rare water sources. It's the only one in the area, but it's too small to really capture with my CNOC. So easiest solution, use a scoop. Don't have a scoop? Ziploc. So I just use the Ziploc to gather, dump it in the CNOC, then I can filter. Okay, so there's what the Bigelows look like from Little Bigelow. Views have been great, but I'm just really dragging today. I'm not sure what's going on. It's 6 o'clock and I've only come about 10 miles over the Bigelows. Oh well. So yet another just loose trail magic left here, which is just a pile of trash waiting for an animal to get into it. Okay, so you see that gray thing up ahead? That would be a bee's nest. That note is actually warning about it. And there were comments on gut hooks. I guess some people have been stung. So, bushwhacking time. Okay, came down to the lake to fill up water. It's a nice spot. You can see people camp down here even though you're not supposed to. There's LNT sites further up. I may just stop here. There's a shelter in 5 miles, but that's likely to be kind of full, and there hasn't been much in the way of stealth sites around here. Seems like they're just offering a lot of campsites. So the other trick is the Kennebec River is currently 18 miles ahead. Crossings are 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I'm probably not going to hit that by 2 p.m. tomorrow unless I am feeling way better than I have been. So that means doing it the following morning. So I might as well just stay here. Okay, this will work. A bit more LNT friendly than down on the beach. Home sweet home for the night.